Hello Artsy Peeps, this is Ian DJ, Raven Fox 13. Today, I'll be sharing with you some of the tips on how to swatch your different watercolors and water-soluble medium. You can find different kinds of watercolors in different sizes and forms. You can check my Watercolor 101 video for more information about this. I'll be putting the link down below. Let's start with watercolors that are in half pans, like this one. When watercolors are in half pans, I would suggest that you would drop a little bit of water into your watercolors, like this. And then just let the water mingle on the surface, like that. And then try to do a swatch similar to this. You can either color a circle, a square, or a rectangle like this, flat way. And then you can also create something beside it like this. After that, clean your brush, then try to wash it away with water so that you can see what the color looks like when it's in full mass tone, and then when diluted with water. At the same time, something similar can be done to watercolors that are in Watercolor Cakes. So example here, I'm wetting the surface. Cakes are a little drier than the half pans, so you probably need to add water and let it stay there for a longer period of time than the other one. Create one part like this. And then, similar to the other one, let's add water here. And you'll see the color burst like that. Watercolor tends to dry different, so sometimes the color is brighter when it's wet, and then it could be a little bit matte when it's dry. That is why I suggest that you swatch your watercolor sets so that you'll discover and rediscover the colors that you have in your palette. Now, if you have watercolors like these that are in the tube, the only thing you need to do is to put it on your mixing plate like this. I'm currently using a literal ceramic plate. This is a good surface for watercoloring. And then you just need to add a little bit of water into that, like that. See, the color suddenly change when it touches the water. Now, the mass tone over here, so that you can see the color of the paint. And then, similar to the first two, water on the side, like that. Currently, I'm using a Maniani mixed media pad. You can see, that's the purple. Now, what if you have a watercolor brush pen, like this one? This is easier because you can easily put the color on the paper, like this. And then, do the same thing on the other side. Just apply the color. And then, you can now add the water on the other side. And then check whether it blends or not. Sometimes, watercolor markers gets absorbed by the paper, especially if you're not using watercolor paper. I suggest that you use watercolor paper for these kind of swatching. I'm just using this paper because it's the nearest one on my desk. You can also use a water brush this way. You put it on the palette like that, and then wet it with water, and then do the swatch like this. Similar. Okay, the same thing goes with a water-based coloring brush pen like this one. So I'll just do the mask tone over here, and then I'll try to do the same thing on the other side. I'll try to wet it similar to the other one. Also do it on the ceramic like this. Water. There. Also, make sure that when you're doing your swatches, if it is possible, feel free to write the codes or the name of the colors. Example here, this is a Karin Brush Marker Pro. Magenta Red 170. The same goes with colored pencils that are water soluble. The easiest way to know if it's water soluble is you can see this brush icon over here. So better check those pencils that you have at home to see if they are water soluble. So I'm just sketching the pencil over here, and it's full strength, and probably you get another sketch here, darker, going to lighter, pressure on the paper like that. And then I'll do another one over here, and then I'll try to wet this one there like that. So I would suggest that you should at least try to do all of these things before you start our watercolor journey. So try to swatch all of the colors that you have so that you won't be surprised on the colors that are in your palette. And then always make sure that you use clean water when adding it on the different colors. And always label those swatches so that you won't forget. So this is an example of a finished swatch. So example, this one. This is from the Kohinoor 24 colors. Since it's in the tray similar to this, I drew the watercolor palette and then labeled the colors like that. Some sets also have bigger numbers of colors like this, so I usually do the same thing. And you'll also find sets like these. So artist grade sets would have more information like the number, name, pigment use in the watercolor, light fast rating, its opacity and transparency, the series that it belongs to, like this one. So the more information that you put in your swatches, the better. Most of the artist grade watercolors have more information like this. Another good thing that I would invite you to do is whenever you do swatches like this one. This is from my Caran d'Ache Museum Aquarelle. So I had one part here that is unwet and then the activated part. I also create an artwork beside it like this one. And then I usually put the colors that I used for the artwork going down. And then I add different kinds of information about what I think about the performance of the watercolor that I use. The swatch can be as simple or it could be as complicated as you want. So this is another swatch that I did. I just taped this so that I'll have rectangles like that, but it doesn't matter if you do it. You can do swatches like this one. It's a little bit free. I just divide the page into different parts like this. So as much as possible, if you are attending any of my watercolor classes, please swatch all of your watercolors, whether it would be on tubes, pans, cakes, pens, pencils, brush pens. Thank you so much, and see you soon. This is Ian DJ, Raven Fox 13. See you on the class soon. Bye. Ciao.